what makes you beautiful is just to see what people both inside and outside of the apostolic doctrine believe about what it means to be beautiful, and to ultimately explain what God thinks according to biblical standards. You know, we are made in the image of God, so we know that He's beautiful. He's a beautiful and awesome God. So that means we have to be beautiful, and it's time that we embrace it. And society, we know, is of the world, and the world is not of God. So therefore, it makes sense that society would have us believe that we are beneath what we are. I'm gonna start out with speaking to someone outside of the apostolic doctrine. See you later. And what does that mean to you?
Pretty color.
Pretty color.
Yeah, pretty much. This is so exciting, you have no idea. Okay. This one that vibrates, or the pretty flower swan thing?
Which one do you think will do the job better?
This one, so will separate my lashes, because look, I mean, it vibrates. Like, it vibrates.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is just so pretty. It's a flower.
Yeah.
But they don't have this in waterproof or like this deep black, which I like. And this one they do.
So when we were in the store, you liked a lot of the makeup and stuff like that. When did you first start wearing makeup?
Well, I don't really wear makeup. Only thing I wear is mascara and sometimes lipstick.
Yeah.
My first experience was when I was a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
I just went into my mom's drawers and I grabbed this red lipstick.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so curious. I'm like, let me put this on. I put it on and I fell in love with it. I'm like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
I look like an adult.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty much it. Another time I actually put makeup on was in high school, like full on makeup.
Right.
My face got all itchy and I could not wear it. So I'm kind of allergic to makeup, as I have figured. So I don't really put anything on.
Right.
And except mascara for now, because I can never seem to leave the house without it.
Yeah.
I always have to have it on. Always.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you feel beautiful?
No.
Why do you say that?
It goes back to junior high days.
Mm-hmm.
I used to get bullied a lot, so I'm guessing that's one of the main reasons why I don't feel beautiful. It still lingers inside me, all these little comments I would receive every now and then from students.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kids can be very harsh at times.
What do you think God thinks about you?
God?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he thinks I'm gorgeous.
Yeah. You are.
Thank you. No, I think he thinks I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
He made me. He has
Mhm.
to.
It's funny because you hear a lot of people say that, they're not beautiful. And somebody thinks that they're completely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show you how society has a way of shaping how you believe you are to everybody else. Like whether you think you're ugly or whether you think you're pretty. And, what do you think, for people who decide that they're going to be different? They're going to dress different. They're not going to be like everybody else. They're going to dress modestly, or they decide, I'm not going to party, I'm not going to do this, but it completely goes against the world. What do you think about those people, like that they're strong, maybe they might be weak? What do you think?
They're strong, courageous. To me, they're amazing people.
Right.
Because, society,
Yeah.
partying, drinking, smoking. But really, if you choose to be yourself and do what you want to do, which is rather you can go out with your friends, especially if you live in New York City. New York City is a huge jungle to me. You can go
It
to
is.
museums, concerts. You can go to gardens. So many different things you can do rather than go get drunk or wasted.
Wasted,
And
yeah.
it's just there's so.
And
so
you're
many
only
different
wasting your life
options.
away by doing
No,
that.
exactly.
Anyway.
Hey,
Yeah.
you can save money.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yes. Yeah.
That's really it?
Mhm.
Another question that, that I have that really sticks out to me is, the fact that, that you said, like to you, you're not beautiful. So I just wanted to say, like, I know you said that, like, in junior high school, like, a lot of people would pick on you and things like that.
Yeah.
But, this is a lot of girl stories. It's just that they don't get to speak about it. And, like, being, godly, for example, a lot of people tend to, look at you like, you're godly, and they look at it as boring. And, you mentioned, like, the restaurants and things like that,
Yeah.
that you can do. But my next question is for a girl who is struggling with being godly, and, she wants to do the right thing, and maybe she doesn't want to go down that road of trying to, appease herself, like, by trying new drugs and alcohol or whatever the case may be. What would be, like, what would you say to that girl? That's the question I basically want to ask. So that she doesn't go down that wrong.
You're not missing much.
Yeah. You're not missing much.
You're not missing much at all.
Yeah.
I go out and I'm trying to never get drunk, but I have gotten drunk once and it's not a pretty sight. So, as I said before, there's so many different options. You can just go out and have fun in different ways,
Yeah.
and there's nothing really wrong
Right.
with being different or standing out. It's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. You're different.
It motivates people too.
Yes.
I get that a lot. They're like,
Yeah.
wow, like, people even come to you and say you're different. And then, I mean, don't get me wrong, you do have, the people like in high school where you experience, like, oh, well, what you're doing isn't cool.
Yeah, but that's
And then,
only high
yeah,
school.
right, and they're
High school
immature
is the
anyway,
beginning of
so,
your life, pretty
yeah.
much. It's not the end of your life, it's the beginning.
Yeah.
So once you go to college, you will meet a whole bunch of different group of people that you will most likely connect with, that you
Right.
will feel like, oh wow, I belong with these people. They understand me.
Yeah.
It's just-
And you're touching their lives,
Yeah.
which is most important.
Yes. So it's pretty cool.
Yes. Thank you so much, Julie.
Be plain.
Hi.
Hello.
So, what makes you beautiful?
Well, I feel beautiful when I look in the mirror and I just see that I'm made in the image of God, and that I'm beautifully and wonderfully made, and that if I'm made in the image of God, then I can't have any flaws, and I can't be ugly or feel inadequate. And I think that beauty is something that's internal. It's not external. Like, I can't, try to put all this makeup and jewelry and fancy clothes on to make
Right.
me feel like I look better, because when I do try to do that, it doesn't make me feel like I'm more beautiful than the person next to me.
Right.
So I think it's just believing that, God made you in His image, and you're as beautiful as the Creator. And
Right.
I don't know, that just makes me feel beautiful every time I look in the mirror.
Now, I spoke to someone before you who isn't apostolic. So, her belief is somewhat different of what, beauty means to her. not necessarily that, she's a a makeup wearing person, but, just overall, it's different, like, in how she may view beauty. So, like, maybe you may have went to school with people who didn't believe the same as you. And you may have, before, reaching college, like in high school, one thing she said is that kids are harsh. And, like, they do treat you differently, especially when you're different and your standard is different. Because, I mean, the world is not holy. They don't look at, our standards. What is, like, an experience that you may have had that maybe can bless another girl, like a testimony that you can recall? And how would you deal with it if you could go back again?
So, people are harsh.
Yeah.
Especially in high school, because everyone is young and everyone is trying to fit in with the celebrities that they see on TV and the teens that they see on TV and how people dress. And so in high school, I started wearing skirts, I think in like 9th grade.
Right.
And it was a really interesting experience because all the girls didn't really bother me about wearing skirts. They were really accepting. But the guys would definitely make fun of me and definitely pick on me. And there was this one guy who he would see me in the hallway and he would just always make fun of me or say something about my skirt because it wasn't, stylish. It was what my mom wanted me to wear. It was a regular jean skirt with like flowers on it. And I would just cry. Like he would say something to me. He would be with his other friends. I'd be walking past him and he would say something and I would just cry, and then it would make it even worse because they would laugh. And I mean, looking back at it now, I can definitely say that if an experience like that were to happen again, I would have no reason to cry because there's nothing that I need to feel ashamed of.
Right.
Me dressing in skirts is just me showing that I want to follow God's rules and really adhere to how he wants me as a woman to dress.
Right.
But
1 Timothy 2:9.
And it's also an extension of me showing that I want to be modest, I want to be holy, not just in how I dress, but internally, in the way that I think, in the way that I act towards other people. And I just think that if that were to happen to me now, I wouldn't feel ashamed because there's nothing for me to feel ashamed of.
Yeah.
There's so many people in college that practice their religion and wear different types of clothes.
Yeah.
And, it just doesn't, there's no reason for me to feel ashamed because God wasn't ashamed when he died on the cross for me.
Right.
And I'm doing this because I love him and I just want to show him that, I'm willing to do everything that I have to do in order to live a holy life and get to heaven so that I can do that.
Right. I actually watched a video once before, and it was basically on guys speaking about what they find to be beautiful in a girl. And surprisingly, a lot of girls would be shocked because a lot of girls, they focus on, what they look like. But they were basically saying that, like it's beautiful when a girl actually puts less work into how she looks, meaning like makeup wise, not necessarily like, how you, clothe yourself or whatever. But clothing as well, because, basically when you're not showing everything and things like that, it's very beautiful. So then that just goes to show you that, maybe what society is showing us is nothing but, to make $1 versus like really saying, well, what is really beautiful? And that really stuck with me. And that's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to do this, is because I wanted to really see like what people perceive as beauty, especially like in the American society, because I guess that's, we live in America, so that's what would impact us the most. But, knowing like the different, like the culture that we have, if you can really speak to a younger girl, what would be something that you would really like say to her? Like, let's say like you had a daughter or a younger sister or a little cousin that was, brought up in the faith. Like, what would be your best advice for her?
I would tell her comfortable
Mhm.
with how she looks.
Right.
And be comfortable with who she is.
Right.
I guess don't be intimidated by someone else who might look different than her in terms
Yeah.
of like size or height or shape or skin color or hair texture or hair length.
Right.
Like, just embrace who you are and feel confident. And once you're confident,
Mhm.
you can feel you start to feel beautiful, and you start to accept who you are, and you start to not care about how other people think about you in terms of, oh, she's ugly or she's pretty. If you believe that you're beautiful and you love how you look, then everyone else will just kind of like, you'll be like a magnet. Like, they'll wonder, why is she so confident? Why is
Right.
why does she think that she's so beautiful? And then once they start to talk to you and get to know you, they'll realize that you have confidence, but it's
Mhm.
also that God is living within you, and he's definitely, it's his light that's shining through you, that's
Right.
letting people like draw closer to you, and like
Mhm.
really see that you're not superficially beautiful, but like
Yeah.
beautiful internally as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, you feel beautiful, and you feel like your beauty comes from no other than Jesus Christ.
Yes.
All right.
Amen.
Nice talking to you, Emily.
Nice talking to you, Alicia.